Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be talking about something that I didn't write a great script for, like didn't pen it down like a script. I just had some points I wanted to talk about. I was watching this video as one does on YouTube, and I will recommend you all check out this YouTuber's channels. And it's the kind of thing that makes you think. And in the video he was saying that just take a pen and write down, and I wrote down the points and as he was talking about them, and I thought about how they correlate with life, right? You can't just jot down some points that you learned from the video. They have to actually work for you in real life, and you have to be able to apply them, is what I'm saying. And so I was looking at whether I'm applying those things or not, and some examples that I'll be putting on here. Okay, so part of the reason I've started this channel, I finished today's water almost. Okay, so part of the reason I started this channel was, as the description says, a sort of a look into my creative abilities. And that doesn't mean that it has to be perfect. That's a constant struggle that we all have, and putting imperfect and okay stuff that kind of resonates with me also is what I try to do on this channel. So the first point that he mentioned was destimulate. So I guess I did not think of the points that he was talking about. So we all know, right? In a few years, we will not start videos with I was thinking, or I think this is what the writer was talking about in this book, and this nuance or that nuance. We are already seeing the change happen where people are like, so this is what ChatGPT said. So people will be starting videos with I asked ChatGPT, and that is already happening. We know that. And I will let you know how I also have used AI, full disclaimer. So the video that I am talking about, he gave ideas how to get out of it and not be worse for it by the time we are older, right? This is incumbent upon us as a generation at this point to make sure that human consciousness is alive, at least on the internet. And for me, I was like, let me see how that translates in real life also. The very first step is destimulate. That's what he was talking about. We are overstimulated, we are anxious, right? So you just have to, sit back and take a deep breath and have a sip of water. I am thinking of taking a walk after this, and you should too consider walking. I'll come to that point as to doing things that make you uncomfortable, doing things that you usually don't do, right? So he said, let that thing, this overstimulation, be processed out of you. Let it exist out of you now. And for that, you have to learn to be bored again. You cannot have information overload, no music and no videos and all. I think I've not listened to music for a while now, I think. Low stimulation food, and you have to return to the baseline of who you are, and what does that look like to you, and like letting yourself be bored, letting yourself just exist. You can just sit on this couch. This is what I do when I come out of work, right? Come from work. So how I destimulate every day is that when I come from work, I have literally no energy to talk to anybody or even do anything at all, and reading also. So I start my day by reading. I read 10 pages of a new book that I'm starting. I'll let you know which book. And at work also I read in the morning when there was nothing to do in early hours. And when I came back, I just don't have the energy. I don't want to do anything. So what I do is I just lie down on this couch. I didn't even change. I was just tired, and so I wasn't sleeping. I was just lying down, and just lying down, is difficult for us. This makes me think of the Instagram account that I followed. women at leisure, which shows women just casually chilling in different poses, in different like comfortable home. As you and I as women know how we sit and how we enjoy our day, right? And like it for us it is very natural, but for the internet it might not look very natural. So I really like that account. I will link and share their picture here with you. um, Although I'm trying to be the channel which doesn't need a lot of editing. I do like editing a little bit of it, but I like adding captions to it is nice. And I also like think I struggle with color grading, right? Everybody says that you should do color grading and all that, but then I'm like, it makes the video different than what it actually is in reality. And the idea of the camera is to be able to show you what I see. So I struggle with that, but I've tried that. No worries, I've tried that on some of the shots of nature and all I've posted. I tried color grading, but the main video and all I try not to do that type of thing. Just exist here. Other type of editing is like you have to figure out where you're starting. Is there a sense of coherence in what you're saying? Is the monologue like making sense? And I've realized sometimes by putting the video that, oh my god, this does not make sense, and then I have to just sit with myself and be like, it's okay, I'm learning it. I am letting myself be wrong at times and be witnessed by the 34 subscribers that I have. Okay, so de-stimulate and be bored. That's the first point. Okay, second point, childlike wonder. Now, sorry, the crux of the first point was to get back your childlike wonder, get back your curiosity, get back what you thought inherently. The person in the video, they talk about how you actually know inherently, you know what you like and what you are avoiding and what you would like to do. Now, what does that look like for me? So that is writing. I've talked about this, the struggle with writing and everything. So I decided that I will write a poem every day now. So today is 11th April, and so I wrote a poem. It's a small poem. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be huge. It just has to represent what I'm feeling in the moment, or like, just a poem. That's it. So I wrote this. The small poem. I've written the date, 11th April. There exists within me a universe born out of a star. A plant, a forest has been living in me, breathing shallowly, breathing shallow heaves. I don't know why I said shallowly. Okay, I'll start again. There exists within me a universe born out of a star. A plant, a forest has been living in me, breathing shallow heaves, leaves decaying, some growing, turning away from my center. I have some thoughts on what this means to me. Maybe you should think about what it means to you. Okay. So the first point was get your childlike wonder back, de-stimulate, think about what you want to do, what do you like to do, right? Second, courage to try new things. Discomfort is normal. I will talk about this till the end of times, which is how difficult it was for me to start this channel. The number of times I've posted and deleted. Several of you know this. I think I still struggle with putting my thoughts coherently. If you look at the videos, I'm like jumbling my words, and I'm also not finishing sentences, and I'm starting another one, and it doesn't make sense, but I am doing it real time, so I'm posting it whatever I am recording. I'm not like editing it that part too much, the struggle part too much. So that is discomfort. So the creator of the video said that listen to your brain. That's what you do when you're bored. Your creativity will return to you. You will fill your own cup essentially, right? Imperfect and unpresentable is okay. Your art or whatever you are good at, it's not necessarily art, right? He was talking about how you could be good at procuring really complicated data and interpreting it from an Excel sheet, like whatever fits your uh, capabilities, right? So, but again, that doesn't have to be perfect or presentable, a sense of play. That's what you need to do. So you have to bring a sense of play into it, and you have to derive the sense satisfaction from intrinsic motivation. And so what I did was, now how I practice that practically in real life. Ever since I've come back, ever since I have arrived at this city, though the time I arrived here was the second time, and I'm now living here for a while. And I've checked out some workshop, I've checked out some art classes, I've been thinking about them, and there was one I paid for, they got cancelled. So I lost any at all motivation to even look it up again. But I got connected to few artists through Instagram, and I booked a workshop, right? And I made a short on it also when I attended the workshop, and it was a Studio Ghibli inspired artwork. And what does that particular artwork say about our world at large and at present? I will talk about in a later point that comes in this video. But I have practiced acrylic, watercolor, and even pencil color drawing. I've practiced that almost all my life, very badly, very imperfectly, and just like for joy, for myself. And if you paint 10,000 times in a year, or if you paint 10,000 times over your lifetime, one painting will be decent, one will be enough. So I like painting. I like painting, all types of painting. I love it. But gouache was something that I never practiced. I was like, I don't know how it is, how it will be, how it won't be. And I was very nervous of going out of this my home and going out to a new place, because all I know is go to work, come back, go to work, come back. Every now and then I go watch a movie or go watch a show alone, but I feel discomfort, and it is difficult to live with the discomfort. I understand that our immediate reaction is to go back to comfort. Go back to comfort. Nobody's seeing me, nobody's seeing me, nobody's seeing me, nobody's seeing me being imperfect, being wrong, nobody's seeing me learn from my mistakes, nobody's seeing me embarrassed, nobody's seeing me like this, because we want the opposite, right? That also, correlates to every video that I've made of the struggle of being seen. Okay, so I went to this workshop. I was very nervous about it, and they did some nice ice-breaking things also. And yeah, it was nice. We all introduced ourselves, and they were recording, and I got some nice videos out of it. I will show you how was the workshop, and this is me having a lemonade, because they gave us some food also. And I plan to use the accessories, the art accessories that they've given us, the material that they've given us in future. And this is how my painting turned out to be. Can you recognize which Studio Ghibli movie is this from? They gave us a reference image and all. And if you look at this closely, like there's some sharp points, right? There's some sharp, like layering is there and everything. I'm looking at this. I've put that in the corner just under my TV, next to another small canvas painting that I did earlier. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that shadowing turned out to be really good, because every time there was a change of color, or every single second that was changing, I would ask the host, and I would ask the artist, please tell me, and she would guide me how to mix this and how to mix this. So I think that turned out to be pretty nice. Every art also that I make, whether it is like, no matter what type of painting I do, I follow YouTube channels, artists who are putting their content here, and they are making content out of the passion, out of the work that they have done, art that they have done, and they teach us also. So that's how I've always done painting, and so it was very obvious that I would want to do that in real time, and I got to do that. I'm so happy I lived through the discomfort and I did it. Also, I had booked the workshop ahead of time, right? It was a Sunday, it was an off day for me from work. Turned out on Sunday also we had to go to work for some procedures and all we had to go. I barely reached in time to the workshop. Barely reached. And that also like put me in an anxious mode and I was like, maybe I shouldn't go, maybe I shouldn't go. And all of this points out that I shouldn't go. I'm gonna be so late. I'm gonna be so late. But I did arrive just in the nick of time, and I was able to participate in the workshop, and I enjoyed it very much. So that was the second point: courage to try new things and living with the discomfort. He said that this mixture of painful experience, and something challenging but also fun, you're going to start craving it. You're going to start expect excitement from it. There is a sense of excitement from this doom scrolling and from all of the stuff that we watch also, right? Like there is a sense of dopamine hit in there also. So we have to reallocate that to something else, something that motivates us intrinsically, that something that we are genuinely interested in, and something that is a little bit difficult but also like has a fun quality to it. Okay, all of this will inhibit instant gratification. That is the purpose of this, right? I'm thinking that I have this habit of taking notes on my notes app, right, on the phone, and I do have some diaries and I don't use them. So I am going to start jotting down my to-do list or what I have to do, my work-wise or like YouTube videos, the topics that come in my head, and I'm going to start writing them on the paper instead of on the phone. Okay. Third. So the third point is that you're capable of it. It is incumbent upon you and I to find a purpose. As silly as it sounds, I will title this as third point as manage your online presence to create more than consume. So it is inevitable that we will be on this net and internet, right? It's been decades now and we've been on here. It is inevitable, it is obvious, right? We can't avoid it, and everything that we do involves our phone. Everything somehow involves a phone and hence the internet. So you have to use your online presence to help you and not sever your relationship with yourself. And obviously if you are the kind of person who use ChatGPT for therapy and personal things, I was really shocked to learn that young kids today, they are putting what they do is they take up the WhatsApp chat or whatever with their boyfriend, girlfriend, and they put it on ChatGPT and they ask them to tell them what is wrong and who said right. And but the entirety of these LLMs or these AI things, they are generated by machines, so they are bound to agree with you. They are bound to agree with you. It's almost like a contract that the user will only use it if the machine is agreeing with it. So why would you ask them? Like, I don't think it serves the relationship. And another thing is people are using it for therapy. That same point goes for that also, that it is going to agree with whatever you say. You're never going to find out what was a problem or what not. Why would you do that? Please don't do that. Okay. So to create more than consume, he was talking about how, first of all, you have to know that you're capable of it. And I would say that human beings have always done this. AI is a new thing. It has never existed before. That is why this is whole hakkam bakkam and whole roll around it. Okay. Think about the greatest artists that you know. Hopefully they're not problematic or misogynistic. By this time everybody is. But let's say that there's a great artist and you're really inspired by them. And think of one great artist, like through the history of time, no matter what part of the globe, no matter their art form, or even like in science, not just the art form, world, but like in science, what is like the greatest scientist that you appreciate? It could be a physicist or, a doctor or someone. They have existed without AI. They were able to achieve greatness without AI they were able to exist, learn, and motivate others through this life, through this experience of being themselves and not even knowing what AI is. What a beautiful life! What a beautiful life. So, your capability is there or not is not a question, because this has existed in humans. Humans have been having this capability. The only thing is that you have to sit with yourself to find a purpose for yourself, what it is that you like to do. For me, a poem a day, like I told you earlier. Okay, also, one size fit all doesn't work. It that we cannot have one, 1 2 3 things that I do that you can also do, or that somebody I am watching is doing, and the same things I also have to do. When the maker of that video said, take out your pen and write down what I'm saying, how to, like, get out of this AI funk and like really indulge in your consciousness and think about things for yourself and all that creativity and everything, I made separate boxes of other YouTube video ideas that I was having at the time. So it might look like something else completely to you, only you know that, nobody else knows this. That is another thing. Your capabilities also derive from the fact that you know yourself best, or the people around you, but like, you know yourself. Like, don't delimit your capabilities by assuming that an AI model will know you better. Okay. Okay. Last point. It is Studio Ghibli Spirited Away takeaway. I was so frustrated when that Studio Ghibli art came out. AI art. It's not art. AI shit, AI slop, AI images. I remember posting about the creator of Studio Ghibli movies and how he feels about this. And he was approached by AI people and all of them. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do it. If you've seen any of Studio Ghibli movies, they are very anti-capitalist, anti-war. And the painting that we made was from a place, one frame in Spirited Away. The name of the movie, Spirited Away, it says that if you've seen the movie and if you know Studio Ghibli and the themes that they talk about, you know that they're talking about that the spirit has been taken away almost. This is my interpretation of it. I've not like googled it, or I've not like watched any other interpretation of Spirited Away. This is my understanding of it. And your spirit is gone. Your inhumanity is gone. Spirited away. The place that we painted is the house where the protagonist, the girl, she enters this house to try to find her parents. As we know, her parents have become pigs, and that kind of represents the vulture-like, pig-like capitalist culture that we live in. And some scenes are very disgusting and like very difficult to look at, but I think it makes me want to watch Spirited Away again. And that reflects the humanity crisis that we are facing. Every movie, whether My Neighbor Totoro and The Dust Bunnies and what was that, Kiki Delivery Service, these are the few ones that I have watched, and all of them, and of course my favorite, what was the name? I forgot name. Howl's Moving Castle. Howl's Moving Castle. The theme music of Howl's Moving Castle is one of my favorites. Back to Spirited Away, and how she was able to save her parents, and at the end, and I think you should see the movie for yourself to decide what it means for you. And what I was really hurt by was that people really did not care that they were abusing an artist by making Studio Ghibli art. It's AI slop. They're bad pictures. Studio Ghibli, I would say, it makes me feel like I'm in a gouache painting. Coming back to the workshop that I attended, it makes me feel like a gouache painting. The colors are so bright, everything is slow, but there's a story to every single frame. You have to watch Studio Ghibli for yourself to know what I mean. And to forget even that, you know what? People have really lost their empathy. So let's forget that also. Second part is, how are you putting your personal images on AI? Use of AI. Like the only ethical thing is I let you know. So the main way that I've used AI, the main way that I still use, I don't use ChatGPT, I use DeepSeek, and the main way I use AI is to make my research papers better. English is something I struggled with. So the very first paper that I sent to diagnostic cytopath, it was my thesis paper. I still remember that was the first thesis paper that I was sending. And there was another one that my faculty had given me. It was a very well written paper. So it was getting rejected. Both of them got rejected. And diagnostic cytopath paper got rejected, and they had like a huge exhaustive list of corrections, which I now realize is standard. I should have done that, but I got so scared and I didn't make any changes. And one of the major thing was there's a lot of punctuation errors, there's a lot of grammatical errors, there's a lot of English that doesn't make sense. And I'm like, I thought it all made, like I wrote it myself. So that is what I use DeepSeek for, to make my paper coherent. Like wherever the English is not making sense, I write my paper and then I put it on DeepSeek. I don't use ChatGPT anymore. Recently I've learned that there's a model called Claude, and apparently they said that it looks like it has been trained by women. So I tried using it, and I am using it to create thumbnails for my pathology based channel, not this channel. This channel is all of me. All the non thumbnails or the thumbnails that you see, all of it is just me. Okay, I am thinking how my laziness to edit videos too thoroughly or too perfectly might actually just be okay. Like me living with imperfection. And that doesn't mean that you don't want to pursue excellence. It just means that you are okay with covering the distance between them, because it has to take time to cover the distance between them. And yeah, imperfect editing is okay. So that is how I'm ending this video. I talked about the 4 points, and I told you a workshop I went on, I told you the poem I wrote today, and I told you about the YouTube video that I watched. Let me know. This is the book I'm reading. I think I forgot to tell you about that. So this is the book I'm reading. I've only read 10 pages. Aim to finish it. I would like to finish it this week. You know, I'm okay with taking some time to read and everything, and like not finish it within a day. I'm not that age where I could just finish books within a day. At that time I did not have work. So yeah, thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments if anything that I say resonated with you.